As I'm sure you've noticed, it's hard to find anything that's not coronavirus related in the paper these days. But the Boston Globe is bucking that trend with a sorely needed escape from reality, a novella titled The Mechanic. They started publishing a chapter a day yesterday and will continue for the next 2 weeks. I'm joined now by its author, international bestseller Ben Mezrich, who wrote Accidental Billionaires, Bringing Down the House, and Once Upon a Time in Russia, among other things. Good to see you, Ben. How are you?
Thank you very much for having me. I'm doing good.
So I read your Twitter account, and you wrote that it was exciting and terrifying. I understand the exciting. Why the terrifying?
I mean, a serial novel like this isn't done often, and the Boston Globe came to me and said, would you be interested in doing something like this? And it's very quick. You're writing a whole book over 14 days. Hopefully people read along with you. But I only wanted to do it if I could do like a full-scale thriller, like a Da Vinci Code kind of thing, where you go into these complex twists and turns. So it was an intense process getting here over the last week. And now it's laying out. And so it's terrifying in keeping up with that kind of, I'm not a newspaper guy, this is very new to me, this sort of writing speedy like this, but it's been absolutely amazing.
But it's just a different forum for the same kind of deal, right? I mean, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I like to say it's Dickens by way of Dan Brown. I'm trying to really do something cool. And I think it's an amazing experiment the Globe is doing. And so I was thrilled to be able to just do it. Everyone's, as you said, it's this overwhelming negative gloom and doom news every day. And it's nice to be able to see something else,
So I'm only up through chapter 4. Chapter 4 was today, right? Am I right?
Yeah. So 1 and 2 came out yesterday. 3 and 4 came out today. Tomorrow, it'll be about 2 chapters a day for the next, 12 days.
So can you give people a short picture of what the story's about?
Sure. It's a thriller. It takes place in Boston. It starts off at the Encore casino, and it's the main character so far, I don't want to give too much away, is a young woman who is a card counter. So it starts in my wheelhouse of Bringing Down the House. She's an MIT card counter, but she's not who you think she is. And she uncovers something, and I don't really want to. It really is one of those kind of thrillers where I hope it unfolds, because every chapter is going to lead you into the next chapter, into the next chapter, to the next chapter. So it's going to be kind of really cool thing.
Well, every chapter, it is a cliffhanging kind of thing, which I love. So did the Globe? I mean, this is a weird kind of partnership. It's unusual. Did the Globe edit this at all, what you wrote, or no?
So it's great. By doing this pro bono, it gives me a lot less editing. No, I'm just kidding. Brian is amazing. Brian McGorry, who's the editor-in-chief, basically had him and came to me, Linda Henry, doing a phenomenal job over there. And they said, what would you write if you want to do something like this? And I came up with this crazy thing and the crazy fever dream over a period of a week. And the editing is to make it fit the Globe a little bit, because sometimes I can get a little adult, I guess.
Well, yeah, I'm actually told that one line in particular came out. Is that true?
Yeah, it is. Am I allowed to talk about that line here?
Go ahead.
Later in the book, there's a one-night stand, I guess, and the character wakes up and he notices lipstick on the pillow next to him, and it caused a throbbing in his boxer shorts.
Got it.
Apparently, that line is a little racy for the Boston Globe.
For the Boston Globe.
I was okay with that coming out.
You mentioned Charles Dickens a minute ago, and for those who don't know about serialized fiction, prior to TV and radio, this was all the rage and the norm. And when I'm reading your thing, I'm saying to myself, why isn't this coming back? It seems to me, even in normal times, this is a great venue for writers to connect to people.
I think I love it. I think writers, on the whole, would love to do this. It's amazing to have a newspaper do something innovative like this now. It is from the past. It's a throwback. But, it's an experiment. The response has been incredible. The emails of people sitting at home saying this is, giving me something to do. I can't leave my house. And I love it. But I think people's attention spans are different. Television, streaming, there's a lot of competition. And to get someone to read along for 14 days, I guess we'll see. I think your audience are the type, hopefully, who will read along in the Globe, but will a regular person, I have no idea.
So we only have a minute left, but speaking of a long time ago, I want to briefly mention something you wrote 6 years ago about which you said, quote, "This is a true story. It just hasn't happened yet." Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, this is really creepy. But I wrote a ebook called Q, which is an ebook. It's online, and it's about a coronavirus coming out of China, hitting America. It's a virus that you don't show symptoms, but you're catching contagious for a few days before symptoms. It hits New York, and there's a massive quarantine. And almost everything I got is exactly what's happening. And I wrote this. I started writing in 2002. I put it up as an ebook in like 2012 or 13. It's very dark. I don't actually recommend people read it until maybe this is over.
Right now, right?
It's really dark. It's dystopian. It's about what happens when you quarantine everybody. But almost everything I did in the book is coming true. And that's very creepy when your delusions come true.
Well, you're looking very prescient these days, I want you to know. And by the way, if Rate My Skype Room was watching tonight, I think your room would get a 10. So congratulations to you and Tonya.
Tanya had a note for me, Jim. I don't know what it said. What did it say?
Oh, just that it goes on digitally the night before.
Oh, yeah.
People want to sneak
the
peek.
chapters go on digitally the night before. The Globe has it in paper the next morning, so you can get it a little early.
It's good you have a colleague in your presence. Ben Mezrich, it's great. It's great to see you, too. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you very much. I love doing it, man. Good seeing you.
See ya.